Hail, bird of prey. 5. Hail, Taruga.
Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Taruga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird o' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird o' Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Star Trek Enterprise Wednesday for December 13th, 2023. Today we will be watching Star Trek Enterprise Season 3, Episode 3, Extinction, and it originally aired September 24th, 2003. And despite what I said a week or two ago, today, actually, this episode, Episode 3, was the first time that Enterprise got the Star Trek Enterprise title. Previously, it had just been called Enterprise. I thought it happened at the beginning of the season. In fact, according to Wikipedia, it was with today's episode that the title card was changed from Enterprise to Star Trek Enterprise. So, it did, yeah. With Episode 3, we officially became Star Trek Enterprise. That's where we are. Dan Ben was first in the chat today, since I was quite late setting it up, since I did an earlier stream today. If anybody missed it, it's out there. It's an open panel stream where I played poker, but it's out there. Dan Ben was first and says, doesn't this episode sometimes get edited because of flamethrowers burning people? While there are flamethrowers, I could not find any instances of it being edited that I'm aware of. John Araki says, deuces. Welcome, John. I put up the link. If anybody would like to, remember, you watch this episode live while we're in the screening room, while we're live in the screening room. When I go to play this episode in a couple minutes, you should be watching it there. Otherwise, if you have your own copy or your own source of streaming it, then do that. It is season 3, episode 3, Extinction. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, again. Good evening to the lovely Yvette again. Jim's Landscape is here again as well. Hello, Jim's. And Dan Ben says, hi. Welcome, Dan Ben. Okay, so let's go ahead and just get ready for today's episode. Since it's been a long road getting from there to here today for me, and I already have one sizable stream in me today, so let's just get this one ready and done with. We'll head over to the screening room, count down, and we'll hit play. Okay. And we'll count down now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they're running through in the jungle. Something is running through the jungle. An alien with long hair. And things are chasing it. And spacesuits with headlights. This was all done on the sound stage. They didn't go to a real jungle. And the aliens on the ground, and the phaser opens, and they're not phasers, they're flamethrowers. They're Elon Musk, not a flamethrower. Flamethrowers. And these guys are clearly burning that poor alien alive. And we've got Star Trek Enterprise. My time is finally here. I will see my dreams come alive at last. I will touch the sky. LDG says, morning, Bird. And this episode. Yeah, this episode. I've got faith of the heart. I've got faith to believe I can do anything. I got strength of the soul. No one's gonna bend or break me. I can reach any star. I've got faith. I've got faith. Faith of the heart. Hi, Sassy. Sassy, do you have faith of the heart? I want my jerky. Okay. Okay, Sassy. Sassy's got faith in her jerky. Paul invites somebody in. It's Tucker. Tucker, are you sure he's not bothering her? He's bringing her some Georgia peaches. They've been being kept in stasis for him. So Paul's not even going to try it. He's like, come on, try one bite. She smells it. She takes a bite. She says it doesn't make up for the 2 sessions he canceled. He said he's been busy lately. Not like he didn't want to come back. Yeah, just take your clothes off and get on the bed at every Vulcan's cabin happens to have extra place. Take your shoes off too. Locks never said anything about feet. He hasn't had a shower since this morning. He doesn't want. He's a little ticklish. The fuck are you talking about? You will stop at the first sign of discomfort. I don't believe ticklish is the problem. Really? Her hands are ice cold? Is what you're going to complain about? You've been doing neural pressure. You should have had this discussion before. Never been tried on humans before. The risk of paralysis is minimal. That would have been something. At least if I would have been paralyzed by Vulcan neural pressure, could at least said I was paralyzed by Jolene Bullock. It's the ways of being paralyzed go. That's a high one. Highly sought after. So Captain Archer's been looking through the Xindi database. I found another way of another Xindi species. Been able to figure out how they map coordinates and what planets they were at before they were attacked. But this is the planet they were at before. It's only a day away. Quite lucky. The policies, we don't know if these Xindi had anything to do with the ones who attacked Earth. And Archer's like, well, but we don't know that they didn't. So set course. Prolific ecosystem, lots of plants, but no Xindi that she can check. It's going to take a while before she can search all the land. Ah, there's a metallic signature. It's like a landing craft. No. Bioscans within a 30-kilometer radius, according to Qapla. So, of course, that means let's fly down with the shuttle and what? Fly around 30 meters? You've got both Archer and Qapla on the shuttle. I guess Tucker is in charge up on the ship. We got Malcolm, Qapla, Hoshi, and I'm not sure who else on the planet. There's definitely one more person, I believe. I can't say who they are. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just part of the tree I'm looking at. So they say it's been about 2 weeks since all this happened. Oh, she found a body. Looks like it's been burnt. Not Xindi, according to Qapla. At least none of the 3 species she's familiar with. Also not Zindi found another body. The whole area has been scorched. Malcolm immediately is feeling sick, and so he's never much cared for the tropic. So, of course, nobody's going to check on him or the doctor or anything. Just, yeah, it's quite normal to feel hot. And now T'Pol has already got some sort of rash, and she can feel some distortion on her face. He sees Malcolm. Goes Lieutenant. And Malcolm has completely devolved, evolved, changed species. You would think he'd already gone through the warp 10 barrier, which is bullshit. And now Captain Archer's eyes have changed somehow. Oh, and we get to see a zoom in of his insides, and we see he has new bones. Like, we just got to see X-ray vision for randomness. Totally random. Like, hey, here's a zoom in of what's going on under his clothes and skin. And we get to see his bones ruin, his organs changed. And now T'Pol is sending up an alarm to the ship that the captain's changed. And Hoshi's changed too. Of course, T'Pol and Hoshi in a female on female cat fight. If Hoshi wasn't under so much makeup, that would have been much more interesting. T'Pol has gone running, but she kind of gives up, just stays laying in the dirt. Oh no, they've got T'Pol. They're going to eat her. They're going to eat her. I mean, why else would they have gone through all that effort to put her into some type of comfortable bed to transport her? They could have just thrown her over their shoulder. Now she's waking up, and they're going to poke her. So how dare you talk to him like that? Hoshi is saying. T'Pol demands to be untied. He says, let her go. Oh, they're going to untie her. Oh, Hoshi is like, you idiot. How dare you untie her? I'm in charge here. Dan Van says, Bird, I think this was voted or rated worst episode or a bad episode. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was rated a bad episode, but I don't think this is the worst episode. T'Pol has to get back to Enterprise. Of course, nobody knows what Enterprise is because they've all transformed too much and they forgot, or I guess, everything they used to know. Luckily, it'll come back when the doctor fixes them. She wants the device. No, don't give it to her. Archer is trying to talk to Hoshi in their alien language. So she is going to give the device to Paul, I guess. Archer seems to, even though he's transformed into an alien, he still seems like his old self. And Paul is saying this might help us understand each other. You're going to have to talk. Now, I guess it's the universal translator. Now nobody wants to talk. They just want to do their mouth ticks. So they're looking for the crew, and Flock says, well, that's a Vulcan life sign, but the other life signs with them aren't human. So something was happening. Maybe she said they're being altered. So Dr. Phlox is saying, well, maybe she was being honest, that they were being altered, and those alien biosigns are the people. Trip wants to prep shuttle pod 2. They're going to go down. Dr. Phlox would rather study the readings. He said, no, just get the decon chamber ready for them. Now the translator is finally working. They have to find the city. It's close. Oh, she is saying, our people are there. The Paul saying there's a device that she can use to call Enterprise. There's a doctor on board. And they're saying, Archer's, and we don't know what she is. But he likes her. Can tell that much. Urquhart. We need to find Urquhart. What is Urquhart? She says we should keep searching. So basically, Scott Bakula, Linda Park, Don Keating, the guy who plays Malcolm, they all had to sit in longer than usual makeup for these parts, since they're playing aliens when they're usually human. It went from their usual like 20, 30 minutes of makeup to 4+ hours of makeup over the better part of a week. It wasn't easy for them. I guess we're supposed to feel bad for these people who had this very hard time playing pretend for a week. and having to, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sit through 6 hours of makeup before doing my job, although my job is to be a Starfleet officer on a starship, and I'm going to get paid well for doing it at the time, and I'm going to be able to go the rest of my life to conventions, have my way paid, sell my autograph, my books, or whatever else I want associated with me. God knows what other credits I'll get from it. Free cruises and whatnot for the rest of my life. Hardly seems like I should be bitching about how long the makeup takes. And Dan Ben says it's not the first episode where these actors have put alien makeup on. They've done it previously in other Enterprise episodes. Yeah, that is true. There was just early in the series, Malcolm had to dress up as a Suliban to rescue the captain and Trip. No, and Travis. And Travis. I mean, each series has generally at least one episode where everyone's got to put some form of makeup on. On DS9, there was the episode where Cisco and O'Brien had to become Klingons. So did Odo. Now Odo already wore makeup, but he didn't wear Klingon makeup, so he had to put in Klingon makeup instead of shapeshifter makeup. Now, we might think shapeshifter makeup isn't as extensive as Klingon makeup, but for all practical purposes, the amount of time he was in the chair was pretty close or on par with the time it took Michael Dorn to be made into a Klingon. Was the same amount of time it would take Odo to be made into a shapeshifter. Right, yeah, he couldn't eat because it would ruin his makeup, so he would drink his lunch through a straw. Yeah. He, gotta say he definitely was a professional in that respect. The other actors, especially Colm McNeary, however you pronounce it, O'Brien, he would not have been able to have been play a Klingon every day, every week. It was one thing for one episode, but he would not have been able to do it long term. Of course, then in Voyager, you had Threshold, where Janeway and Paris were crazy aliens, at least for part of the episode. in TNG, you had the episode where the crew was devolving because of what's his face's genetic weird disease that got named after him, Reginald Barclay's whatever disease. And then there was this. So these aliens come and said that there's a virus down there. The only way to neutralize it is to kill everybody infected. So they're going to have to, sorry that his crew's infected, but they're going to burn them all. And Trip is like, I've only been dealing with this for one day. I'm not going to give up on my crew that quickly. And if you try to board the ship, we're just going to straight up kill you. Dan Ben says, Bird, we also had the opposite, where the actor who plays an alien has appeared without makeup, and we see what they look like. That's true, too. I prefer that. So Archer just found a opening in some rocks, and there's a huge city under the ground with no support in the middle. Oh, he was dreaming. He doesn't understand. How long was he asleep? He was only asleep a few minutes. He was there. He saw Iroquois. All of a sudden, there are no cities. It's below the surface. What was it like? It was filled with thousands. How was there light? If it was underground, how was there so much light that he could see it? T'Pol is trying to use logic. Say, there's people waiting for him to save them. And Dan Ben says at least they're not changed into salamanders because of warp 10. These aliens are saying thousands of people died, had to be destroyed when they became infected of his people. Can't risk another epidemic because anybody who becomes infected would be drawn back here. That doesn't make any sense. He's under orders to contain the outbreak. That means you're going to have to wear a mask. Dr. Flock says he's got to finish this within the next 2 hours. There's not going to be enough of their original genome left. He needs the DNA sample. Do it quickly. No, he can't. He can't use the he can't use the shuttle. So what is he going to use? Probably the transporter? No. Where is he looking? He's looking for the peaches. He's into Paul's quarters. He went for the peach. The Paul put the peach. She bit into the peach. And she put it back. The disgusting bastard. Archer found the passage to Iroquois or whatever. It was there in his dream, and it's a cave. And, yeah, it's again very well lit for a cave, extremely well lit. Like, where is the sun? What is the source of the light? Caves are supposed to be dark, very dark. There's just plenty of light. What is up? What is on the top? Where is the light coming from? He saw it in his dreams. They were supposed to be waiting. This was a city. It was a fountain. A fountain. Gardens. Floating gardens. And there were people, thousands of them. So Paul says, come back. We'll find what happened to your city. They no, not leaving. This is our home. Saying, look around. These are ancient. No one's lived here for a very long time. And this body is an ancient. Someone killed them. Maybe it was Jack the Ripper going through space. Jack ripping along the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's blaming Paul's people. No. He doesn't belong in Enterprise. Oh, here. Uh-oh. Oh, she thinks someone's coming. Paul says they're not safe. They must go. Of course, how does she know it's not somebody from Enterprise coming to check on her? It turns out to be the aliens. They're going to take the Vulcan and flame torch the other two. Paul has no idea who they are, so they're all going to try to fight them together. Archer manages to smack down our guy. Paul was about to get taken away. Luckily, she didn't have to kill anybody. She stopped Archer from smacking in the alien's face, but his spacesuit got ripped. So now he's probably been infected. And now his crew come across him and they see he's infected. And so they had to burn him alive. His friend, their friend and comrade. Oh, now they come out. And Enterprise crew used the transporter, which just happens to work. The Paul said, "You said you'd never use the transporter again." He wishes he wouldn't. And Paul is trying to get the captain to come back up and saying, "Yeah, you'll be safe on Enterprise. Sure you will." Dan Ben says, TNG had an episode where Geordie LaForge had been changed into an alien. I don't remember that one. And Dan Ben says there are some rocks that produce their own light or paint you put on rocks to make light. I don't know that I agree with that, Dan Ben. I mean, yeah, there's glowing paint, but it doesn't glow after 5,000 years without light. It doesn't glow after, a day without light, let alone years. How convenient. Oh, you made me kill my friend. Hmm. You mean a completely change of biology, and you're not ready to go right back onto duty? What the hell are you gonna do? Why would you keep that virus? Yeah, they cease to exist. Good for that. I don't think he gets it. That- That's it. Put it on ice, Doc. And that is our episode for today. Season 3, episode 3, Extinction. Um, I'll be honest. At this point, season 3 was off to a very rocky start. Uh, it didn't feel like they were, uh, you know, doing their best searching for the species that attacked Earth. This episode felt like a total side quest. I really didn't feel like it was going ahead, moving the plot ahead at all. We know we're going in hindsight. It's going to be the full season before things get resolved, even more so, actually. But um, yeah, this was not a great start to the season, and one of the reasons where I actually think season 3 is one of their weaker seasons. Now, granted, later in the season, things do get better, but this was a slow, boring start for me. Uh, Hopefully you guys enjoyed it more than I did. It was directed by LeVar Burton, aka Mr. Geordie LaForge. Next week's episode is Rajan. I believe it has something to do with the Japanese god of thunder. Let's see. Zindi Council meet to discuss the progress of Enterprise, and the reptilians and the insectoids want to attack the humans. Degra advises them to continue with the plan to build the superweapon. T'Pol continues to help Tucker with Vulcan neuropressure. The crew seeking the formula for a compound to reinforce the ship's hull against the spatial anomalies approaches an ocean planet with a vast floating bazaar, and Captain Archer leads an away team to meet with some guy where they have a contact. After bartering, he sells the formula for liquid Trillium D and also informs them that Zindi recently visited a merchant nearby. Yeah, that is next week's episode, season 3, episode 4. Something to look forward to, I guess. Okay, guys. Thank you all for hanging in there. And let's see. Tan Ben says there are some rocks that produce their own light. I read that. Okay. So thank you guys for hanging in. That's it for today. Be back around on Friday for Bed Life. We'll see you then. Qapla All, bird out.